It's Thursday, August 7th. U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs on dozens of trading partners are now in effect. Also new this morning, the Kremlin saying U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to meet in the coming days. Details on what they'll be discussing just ahead.
I'm so disappointed and frustrated and angry.
Frustrations as campfires are reported in areas of Newfoundland that are under a burn ban as more people are forced to flee their homes. Oh, serving up wins. Toronto's Victoria Mboko gearing up for the National Bank Open's final showdown tonight against Naomi Osaka. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
I'm Matt Scooby. Good morning.
I'm Kelsey McEwen. Hope your Thursday is off to a great start.
The cheer that went up as she went down when she won, it was a great, great moment for her and for that whole crowd.
Chills. Watching that last night, incredible stuff. We're going to get to it here in just a couple of minutes. Let's start with your other news headlines and what we're talking about this morning. A meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin appears to be in the works. A Kremlin aide has said the two will meet in the coming days. The news comes as Trump's deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine is set to expire on Friday. The possible meeting between Trump and Putin would also follow talks between U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and the Russian president on Wednesday. Trump has said he plans to meet with both his Russian and Ukrainian counterparts to discuss ending the war in Ukraine. Well, there is pushback this morning on Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's reported plan for a full takeover of Gaza. Israel's military chief has reportedly warned against the move, saying fully conquering Gaza could trap the military and put the remaining hostages at risk. He also said it would increase the burden on Israeli forces when the military is already suffering from burnout. Netanyahu is expected to urge a meeting of the security cabinet today to support the, quote, full conquest of the Strip. And U.S. President Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on more than 90 countries are now in effect. Trump sharing this overnight, quote, "It's midnight, billions of dollars in tariffs are now flowing into the United States of America." Before today, many countries' goods were subject to a minimum 10% tariff. The highest rate imposed on goods from Brazil at 50%. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mark Carney sharing his own message on social media last night before the tariffs took effect, quote, "Spoke with premiers today as we work towards a new trade agreement with the United States. We are staying focused on building our industrial strength at home." Canada remains at 35% imposed tariffs.
Singling India out for these additional sanctions.
It's only been 8 hours. So let's see what happens over the next.
Sanctions
you're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of.
You're going to see a lot more. You're going to see so much secondary sanctions. Yes, ma'am. $1 billion more.
Now again, Trump hit India with an additional 25% tariff. The new measure pushes tariffs on some Indian goods to as high as 50%. That's set to take effect August 27th unless India stops buying Russian oil.
Depends on how companies like Apple, they're coming home.
Apple CEO Tim Cook also joined Trump to announce a commitment by the tech company to increase its investment in U.S. manufacturing by an additional $100 billion. While meeting with Cook at the White House, Trump also threatened a 100% tariff on foreign-made computer chips. However, if companies are building in the U.S., Trump said there would not be any charge. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has issued a warning for the renegotiation of the existing free trade deal with U.S. President Trump.
He's coming at us hard. He is going to come at us with everything he has, and we have to make sure that we're ready.
Ford made the comments after the country's premiers and the prime minister met virtually for the first time since Trump escalated his trade war with those new tariffs. There are some differences, though, on how to approach the situation. Ford says he's frustrated by the U.S. duties and is calling for more retaliatory tariffs. But Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe thinks that Canada should dial down its countermeasures. Canada imposed a 25% tariff on some U.S. goods in February, but has not escalated its response beyond that. In Newfoundland, new evacuation orders have been issued as wildfires continue to burn.
It is what it is. I got the important things out. My family and my pets are all out, and the rest is insurable and replaceable.
Hundreds of people from several communities have been forced out due to the fire risk. Premier John Hogan says an unknown number of structures have been destroyed on the eastern side of the province. The Premier also pleading with residents to obey a new ban on open fires, saying the province is as dry as a tinderbox. Hogan says he was disappointed and angry to hear that on Tuesday night, hours after the ban came into effect, 3 campfires were reported in the St. John's area. The Premier is going to join us coming up at the top of the next hour. Well, rain has brought little relief to the wildfire situation in Saskatchewan, and the province is hoping for help to stick around. Around 300 Canadian Armed Forces members have been deployed to fight the fires in the northern part of the province, but the public safety agency there has asked them to stay. As of Wednesday, 81 active wildfires were burning in the province, with only 7 considered contained. Meanwhile, a Michigan congressman is calling on Canadian leaders to do more to address wildfire smoke blowing into his state. Representative John James recently wrote to Prime Minister Mark Carney asking leaders in our country to take action. He specifically cited the smoke from Manitoba's wildfires, saying it's threatening the health of his constituents and millions of other Americans. Well, a move by Canada Post is upsetting some people in rural Ontario.
Whether it's to save time or money, I'm not sure, but it's not doing the workers nor the corporation any good. The postman comes.
David Carrier is one of the many residents who received a letter from Canada Post indicating delivery agents would no longer raise the flag on mailboxes when mail is delivered. It's a signal that's been used for decades, but the Crown Corporation says it was never being used properly. It writes in a statement that the flag is not meant to inform customers mail is in the mailbox, but says the flag was actually intended as a way to let the carrier know that there was outgoing mail. Well, the incredible run for Canada's Victoria Mboko at her home tournament continues.
Congratulations, and you're going to the final.
Oh my God. The 18-year-old sensation fought off a match point and knocked off Elena Rybakina yesterday, advancing to the National Bank Open's final tonight in Montreal. She is looking to become the first Canadian to win the event since Bianca Andreescu did it back in 2019. And Mboko in tough, though, again tonight in the final. She's going to face 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka. Now, she has, just for those that know it, haven't followed this too closely, has knocked off 3 previous Grand Slam champs already, including Rybakina last night, too. An incredible match, 3 sets, up and down. She had an injury at one point, too, but just incredible stuff.